Ultimate is self-officiated. There are no referees. Players are responsible for making honest calls on themselves and others. If you foul someone, you call it. If you step out of bounds, you say so. The game runs on honesty. This doesn't mean disputes don't happen. They do, and we'll cover how to handle them. But the foundation is play fairly, call accurately, and don't take advantage of the system. Every point starts with a pull. One team throws the disc downfield to the other like a kickoff. Both teams line up on their end zone lines, and the receiving team signals ready, and the disc is released. Once the disc is in the air, here's what can happen. 1. If the receiver catches it, they play from where they caught it. 2. If the disc hits the ground in bounds, they pick it up and play from there. 3. If the disc goes out the side, it's brought to the sideline where it crossed out. In the case the disc lands out of bounds without hitting the ground first, it can be brought to the center of the field where it went out of bounds. 4. If the pull lands in the end zone, it can be brought up to the front of the end zone line. And one more rule, if you touch the disc on the pull and drop it, that is a turnover. To score, catch the disc in the attacking end zone. For the catch to count, your last point of contact before catching must have been in bounds. If you're already out of bounds when you catch it, it doesn't count. After a score, teams switch directions and the team that scored pulls. Once you have the disc, the nearest defender, called the marker, starts counting. They count stall 1 through stall 10, and the person with the disc must release the disc before the marker says T in stall 10. If you don't, it's a turnover. The marker can only start counting if they're within roughly 3 meters of you or 10 feet. Any further away and the count doesn't start. When you catch the disc while running, you get a few steps to slow down, but you must be actively trying to stop. Once you've stopped, you establish a pivot foot. That foot stays planted. You can turn and pivot around it, but it can't move. 2 things that are travels. 1. Catching the disc and continuing to run without slowing down. 2. Changing direction while you're still decelerating. If you catch it going right, you can't cut your steps left to gain extra ground. When travel is called, play doesn't stop. You just go back to the spot where the travel happened. Additionally, if a thrower's pivot moves while they have contact with the disc, it is also a travel. Turnovers happen in 5 ways: a drop, a throw out of bounds, stalling out, an interception, or a block. In most cases, the other team picks it up and plays immediately with no stoppage needed. The exception is, if the disc went out of bounds, it must be checked in before play resumes. The new offense takes it to the spot on the sideline where it went out, a defender touches it and says disc in, and then the play starts. If they skip the check and just start playing, that's a violation. Play stops and the check is redone. A disc is out of bounds if it contacts anything out of bounds. The ground, a person standing out, a leaf, anything. The line itself is also considered out. When you take the disc in from out of bounds, your pivot foot goes on the sideline. If a disc is heading out of bounds, you can attempt to save it. This is called the greatest. You jump from inbounds, catch the disc before it hits the ground or anything out of bounds, and release it while you're still in the air. If you're already out of bounds when you catch it, it's out. The save only counts if you left from inbounds. After any stoppage, a foul, out of bounds, any call, play will restart with a check. The marker touches the disc and says disc in. Nobody moves until that happens. If the nearest defender isn't coming over, the thrower can check the disc into the ground instead. Tap it, say disc in, and play starts. 2 situations when the ground check isn't allowed is after a timeout or after an injury stoppage. Those always need a defender to check it in. If play starts without a proper check, it's a violation, you stop, and you redo the check.